Hello! Welcome to the vlog. I apologise already for the sound outside. I live above a construction site currently. This week's vlog we have a bit of an activewear haul. Those of you who know me personally know that I have a bit of an activewear addiction. I got over it for a while. I stopped buying leggings for a long time. I have now got back into buying it, which is a problem, but it's fun, I guess. I'm an athlete, so I'm justifying it that it's workwear. So we have an activewear haul. I talked to you a wee bit about my arthritis. I get quite a lot of questions about it, so I thought I would answer some of those. So there's a bit about that. I give you a room tour. Quick update on uni before we start. This is the end of week 2, I believe. I have my first exam next week, and the week after that, and the week after that. No, the course I'm doing is biomedical engineering. So there are some medical scientists and there are some engineers. So the first 5 weeks, the medical people do engineering science and the engineering people do medical science to bring us all to the same place. Which I find incredibly ironic given that we've both done separate 5-year degrees or 4-year degrees. Yeah, so I'm learning medical science in 5 weeks with 3 exams over the next 3 weeks. So it's a lot of information to process. I'm quite lucky that I did a module at Open University in human biology a couple of years ago, so for me a lot of it's revision. It's still a lot. It's a lot of information to revise, a lot of information to learn, but it's going cool. It's really interesting stuff. It's really fun. I've just finished doing cell organisation and cell energetics. The energetic stuff was completely new to me. It's all like the Krebs cycle and the electron transfer system, which was totally new to me. So that was quite a tricky lecture. I guess next few days I'm moving on to blood, stem cells, immunology. Next week's anatomy, and then we move on to some physiology stuff. So yeah, lots to learn, but it's really fun. So we will move on with the room tour. So this is my flat. I have a small shoe collection. As you can see, it's not very small. I have a coat rack and fire safety stuff. My radiator, which I currently don't need because this flat is boiling. Hair stuff. I have a phone. I'm not really sure what this does. I don't know if I can like open the front door with this phone or what. It hasn't ever rung since I've lived here. That is a heated drying rack that my mum so very kindly bought me for was that for my birthday or Christmas? I can't remember. My piano. My big long mirror. Hello. Which I've obviously covered half of. Through on this side we have my kitchen, which has a combination convection oven / microwave, a couple ring hobs, my awesome extractor fan and light that doesn't work. I mean the extractor bit does, but the light doesn't. Excuse the mess, I have washed my dishes but I haven't put them away yet. And then there's a little breakfast bar there, but I tend to just eat at my desk because I'm lazy like that. Also, look how cute this is. This tiny little cupboard above the thingy. It's so tiny, but it's so cute. And then we have cupboard, fridge, cupboard. So that's my adorable little kitchen. There's my adorable little bathroom with a shower, which is actually really good. Sink, toilet as per, and a whole load of toiletries. I'm standard female. This way we have my bed, which I have to say is not the comfiest thing I've ever slept on, but beggars can't be choosers. My avocado toast plushies, they're so cute. I got them when I bought Jen's hoodie. It's awesome. My DVD collection, or some of my DVD collection, some books, more soft toys, and my plants. Look at all my plants. Vern the Fern. I can't call it Vern the Fern, Jen's is called Vern the Fern. I'll think of a different name. If you have any suggestions as to what I should call my fern, please leave them below. We have guitar corner over there, next to my washing basket, and all my fitnessy stuff is over in this corner here. And then we have my desk. My desk is actually a really big desk. I'm very happy with it. And then up here we have more books, more plants, clothes, more clothes, more shoes in that pink box, and hats and scarves and gloves and various other bits and bobs up there. Bedding, towels, more bedding, and then my wardrobe, which is way overstuffed, as you can see, because I have too many clothes. It's ridiculous, but I like clothes, so who's complaining? And then out this direction we have a really good view. I've got a nice little pub here which I get to listen to in the evenings, and then that view of the Glasgow Royal Infirmary, which I think is really cool. Please excuse the noise. Directly below me there is a construction site, so it's quite noisy here quite often, but hey ho. Yeah, the sky's looking so pretty today. It was a good time. Yeah, look how pretty it is. Just wanted to take a wee mo to talk to you about something I get quite a lot of questions about. It came out in the public, I guess, around 2014, around the Glasgow Commonwealth Games, that I have rheumatoid arthritis. I got diagnosed when I was about 17, about 2 months after I first started getting symptoms. It took about 2 months before I got fully diagnosed. But yeah, I get a lot of questions about it around media sort of stuff, around games, major games. When the press speak to me, they almost always ask about the arthritis and how it is to deal with it and stuff. So I thought I would answer some of the questions I get most commonly asked about it, how it affects me, how I deal with it, things like that. So yeah, we can get into it. When I had just started my 6th year at school, so when I was 17, I was shopping with my mum in Stirling and had a really sore toe. I thought I'd broken it, although there was nothing for me to have broken it on. I thought maybe I'd kicked the bed or something in the night. It was really sore. So it didn't get better after a few days, so I made an appointment to go and see the GP. I spoke to the GP and she was immediately like, no, you haven't broken it. But she could see that I was obviously in pain, and it was a wee bit swollen and puffy. She was like, you've maybe stubbed it badly. Give it another week or so. If it doesn't go down, come back and see us. Julie didn't go down, so I went back to see them, and it got more and more swollen over that period of time, and really red, and actually because it was so swollen it then got bruised. So I went back to see the GP, and she'd brought in one of the other GPs from the building, from the office, and they both had a look and they were kind of like, doesn't look good, but definitely not broken. So they sent me off to the hospital to get it checked, to make sure it wasn't broken. I saw one of the orthopaedic surgeons at the hospital, and they did an x-ray of my toe. It wasn't broken. He had a look at it and was like, oh, it's not swollen at all. So they sent me home again, and actually like it went down after a couple of days, I think, after that. A few weeks after that, my knee came up. It was my right knee, and it just like, it was swelled up to the size of a softball. It was pretty nasty. It just kept getting bigger and bigger, so obviously went back to the GP, who they then decided at that point that I had arthritis, so they referred me to a rheumatologist. I had to wait quite a while to see the rheumatologist just because of the standard wait times on NHS, I guess. But my knee just kept getting more and more swollen, and I was in an awful lot of pain, so my dad eventually just took me to A&E, because I was struggling to sleep and everything. Was on crutches by this point. Eventually, yeah, my dad took me through to A&E, where they gave me some stronger painkillers, which I fell asleep for a while, and then another orthopaedic surgeon, one from South Africa. He was really cool. He came through and had a look and was kind of like, oh, that doesn't look very pleasant. It's like, no, it's not really. He drained it for me, what they call aspiration. Sorry if you're squeamish, you probably want to skip this whole thing. So yeah, he drained the fluid off for me, and actually it felt a lot more comfortable then, which tied me over to then get me through to see the rheumatologist. Eventually I did go up to see the rheumatologist, a man called Dr. Bresky, who's originally Polish, I believe. He was really, really cool. I got on really well with him. So for that sort of period of time, I think it was maybe early September when I first started getting symptoms, and it was in early November, I think, before I got diagnosed. Within a couple of weeks of being diagnosed, I was supposed to be going to Sri Lanka with the pipe band, the 6 years from the pipe band. I did go, but the medication for the arthritis, the doctors didn't want to put me on initially, just as I was going to go on this trip, in case I had like a bad reaction to it or in case it didn't go very well. So they gave me some steroid tablets, just in case that any of my joints decided to swell up while I was out in Sri Lanka, which of course it did. So that was a bit of a grim trip, if I'm honest. It was good in some ways. Like, it was a great trip, it was a great experience. I really liked the people we were there on the trip with. It was really, really good. I didn't get to play an awful lot because the drum sits on my knees, and it was my knee that swelled up, so not only could I not walk without a drum on, I couldn't march with a drum on, and I couldn't even stand really with a drum on particularly comfortably. So I don't think I was a particular delight on that trip, but I had a good trip anyway. The steroids also gave me a really like funky upset tummy, so I wasn't eating very much. I think our female chaperone thought I had a bit of an eating disorder while we were on the trip. I didn't. It was just the combination of tablets they had me on, which was pretty nasty. So yeah, once I got home from that, they drained the joint again, and then put me on this medication. So the medication is called methotrexate. It's really, really nasty. In really high doses, it's used to treat cancer. I was just on a sort of fairly light dose because I'm quite a small human, or at least I definitely was then. So yeah, I was on this methotrexate. Now, methotrexate is a really, really horrible, nasty pill, or a bunch of pills. When I first started, they had, I think, 10 milligram tablets and 2.5 milligram tablets. So I was on 25 milligrams, so I could take 2 of the big tablets and 2 of the little tablets, and that was fine. But apparently lots of people were getting it wrong and accidentally overdosing on this stuff, and it's really nasty. So they stopped making the 10 milligram tablets, so I suddenly had to start taking 10 of these tiny tablets, and they taste disgusting. And I think I've never really had a problem swallowing tablets before, but over the space of a few months, I had to take these once a week, every week. Over the space of a few months, my body started knowing that these were the tablets that were making me feel nasty, so it tried to stop me taking them. I would get 1 or 2 tablets down, and then my body would start being like, nope, don't want to swallow that, and trying to stop me. So it was a bit nasty for a long time. The pills themselves give really, really nasty side effects, and actually in the end it wasn't that effective for the arthritis. I felt nauseous. I used to take them on a Monday. I felt nauseous Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then we started getting over it Thursday, Friday, was mostly okay during the weekend, just really tired, and then I'd have to take them again on Monday. So I spent almost all of my 6th year feeling sick, which wasn't great. And I'm sure I was not a very pleasant person to be around at the time anyway. Hormonal teenager meets arthritis medication is not the best mix. I was on the methotrexate for a long time. Being at school on crutches is quite challenging sometimes. A lot of my classes were on the top floor of buildings. It was kind of a hidden disability, I guess. Lots of people couldn't see. We wore kilts to school, and my kilt covered my knees, so a lot of people couldn't see a cast on my leg, so that's the general assumption of people on crutches, that you've broken something. I obviously hadn't broken anything, so I had a lot of the sort of younger kids kind of being like, why are you on crutches? Oh, just attention seeking. So it was kind of tough to be on crutches for a while. I also had a lot of stuff that I did at school. I was a drummer for a lot of different things, and when you're on crutches, I couldn't stand to play in the pipe band, but I also couldn't sit to play kit drums. So that was a real struggle. I was in the CCF, but I couldn't really stand long enough to march about, so there wasn't much of that. I did a bit of shooting, but I could only shoot prone because, again, standing up wasn't a thing for me. This was also the period of time where, leading up to the Commonwealth Games in 2014, that I was still trying to qualify for. Yeah, 6th year was a bit of a challenge. I don't even know, I had lots and lots of flare-ups in 6th year. It felt like it never really let me have a break on it, to be honest. So yeah, I went off to uni and it was relatively settled for a while, I guess, at the start of uni, and then it started flaring up again a lot. I had a run of, I think, maybe 3 or 4 flare-ups back to back that needed hospital treatment, joint aspiration. When they aspirate the joint, they drain off the fluid, but they also put a steroid in the joint. But the more you have those steroid injections, the less effective they are, so they try not to do them if they don't have to. I'm now on a biologic, they call them biologics. I was on a different one to start with, which helped. I wouldn't say it's cured my arthritis, but it has made, I haven't had a flare-up since being on these biologics, which is amazing. I think the turning point was I got it in my hip. I'd never had arthritis in my hip before. It was mostly just knees, toes, once in my wrist and I think once in my elbow, although that was very short-lived. The wrist one was tricky because it happened at the same time as a knee, and you can't really use crutches if you can't use your hand. So that one was really horrible, and I couldn't shoot prone either because it was my prone wrist. So yeah, that one was grim. And I'm left-handed, it was my left hand. So they couldn't drain the fluid out of this, so they just put the steroid in on top, which obviously adds more fluid. So that was, I think, one of the most painful things I've ever had to deal with. Yeah, so I was on this, they call it etanercept, was the first biologic I was on. In 2019, I've been semi-diagnosed with Crohn's disease as well. For a long time I thought I had IBS. Lots and lots of people suffer from IBS or various IBDs. Yeah, so in 2019 it's most likely that I have Crohn's, but I'm still not definitively diagnosed. It's notoriously difficult to diagnose Crohn's. So they changed me from etanercept, which is a biologic that treats arthritis, to adalimumab, which is a biologic that treats arthritis, psoriasis and Crohn's, amongst other autoimmune diseases. So that is what I'm on now. It's an injection pen. If any of you have got EpiPens, there's something that's kind of like that. This is what it looks like. Clear fluid in there, take the lid off, stab it in your leg. They need to stay cold. So travelling with them can be a bit difficult sometimes. These days I don't have any problems with the arthritis. My joints are not affected at all anymore. I have complete mobility in the joint. I don't have any pain in the joints. The only thing I suffer with a bit is fatigue every now and again, and that's a side effect of the medication, not of the disease. If you have any other questions about the arthritis or about the Crohn's or whatever, if you know somebody who's got it, or if you've got it yourself and you've got questions or whatever, please just leave them in the comment and I'll do my best to reply to them. Obviously I'm not a medical professional, so I can't give you medical advice as such, but I can tell you how I've experienced, like I can tell you about my experiences or how I've dealt with whatever it is. So yeah, if you're interested or you have questions, please just leave them below. I did want to show you the process of me actually doing the injection. Some people are really curious about it, but they don't want to ask. So I thought I'd film it for you this week. So if you're squeamish at all, if you don't like needles, turn it off now. Needle warning here. So you're supposed to swab the area with an antibacterial wipe before you do the injection. Turns out I'm slightly allergic to the antibacterial wipes. They give me a skin irritation, so I don't use them and I just use soap and water. I've already washed the area with soap and water, so area is clean. This is the pen. This is what it looks like. So the lid comes off, and just put that to the side. This green area is a safety sheath, so when you put it on your leg, this green plastic bit goes up, which allows the plunger up here to go down. The needle is just inside this green bit. It's safety so that I can't accidentally jab myself in the wrong place, and when it goes in the sharp spin, it's still safe for other people. So this is pretty much how it goes. Sometimes it takes me 2 or 3 goes to get over the sort of fear, I guess. I know what it's going to feel like. I've done it loads of times, but sometimes you're just kind of like, no, I don't want the pain. So sometimes it takes 2 or 3 goes for me to be like, and go. But you'll see how it goes. Yeah, today's one of those days. It takes a reasonable amount of force to push the plunger down as well. So you hear the first click and then the second click. The first click is the plunger going down and the second click is the plunger stopping. You can see that it's all gone out, and because there's a yellow bit there. So I alternate legs to stop me building up much scar tissue around either side. I need a wee plaster to cover the hole before I bleed everywhere. But that's the process. Not much more to it than that. Sorry if you're squeamish and you find that really gross, but it's not so bad. I do that every 3 weeks. So this is fit number 1. The shorts are from LuluLemon and the top is from Sweaty Betty. This is an extra small. I'm sometimes an extra small, sometimes a small, depending on the size, or the style rather. This one I'd probably say I'm a small. This is quite tricky to get on, but actually now that it's on, it's quite comfortable. And the LuluLemon shorts I think are a small as well. They're Canadian sizes, or American sizes. They're a Canadian brand, so their sizes are a bit different. These are apparently a 4 tall, but that's American sizes, so I think that's like a UK 6 or an 8. I think it's a UK 8. So yeah, I quite like it. I'm a fan. I'd probably go running in this rather than much else. Not a huge fan of always having my tummy on show, but no, I quite like it. Time for the next fit. So this is fit number 2, top and bottom both Sweaty Betty. These are the 6-inch cycling shorts. They're not really cycling shorts because they don't have a padded bum or anything. But yeah, these are the 6-inch shorts from Sweaty Betty. They have a zip on the back for your keys or your phone, although having said that I don't think a phone would fit in there. There is a side pocket here for your phone though. So yeah, I quite like them. They're definitely squat proof. They don't really ride up at all. They're pretty snug on the legs, so they don't pull up, which is quite nice. The top's the same as the previous top but in a different colour. Actually having now put 2 of these on, I think extra small is fine. It just needed a bit of effort to get it on in the first place. So yeah, this is fit number 2. Now we're on to fit number 3. This is fit number 3. This is a LuluLemon set. Well, it's not sold as a set, but their top and bottom are both LuluLemon. Got the little logos here and here. The shorts are probably the most buttery soft shorts I've ever felt. They don't feel as like sort of hug and snug as the sort of Sweaty Betty ones, but they are really, really soft. Inside they have a pocket here for phones and keys, etc. So nothing zippable on the back or on the sides, but yeah, you can fit a phone in here. This is potentially one of my favourite tops. You know, the sort of little like side boob that you sometimes get. Well, this top, you don't really get it with this top. It's really good. It's got a sort of built-in bra bit, which is really cool. It's quite low at the back, which is a bit new to me, but I really like. So yeah, you can tell a bit with the colour scheme as well what kind of colours I tend to go for. So this is number 3. Moving on to number 4. Fit number 5, we have a pair of Sweaty Betty leggings. They're kind of grey, light grey camel print. Not normally a fan of the camel print, but I actually got 2 pairs. You'll see the other pair in a second. Normally I would go for 7/8 length. These are full length, although they're actually sitting kind of high, so I'm wondering if they've actually just been mislabeled, which is fine by me. I bought them in the sale and I don't think they had 7/8, which is why I bought the full length. But yeah, they're sitting kind of higher on my ankles, which I prefer. They again have the standard Sweaty Betty back pocket for phones and keys and such, and the sort of pull cord on the front if you wanted them tighter, or to tie them up. So this is she. I really like this colour combo as well. But these leggings are really great. They seem to go with like lots and lots of colours, as you'll see in a second. also goes really well with pink. Baby pink. This top is from Lorna Jane. I have quite a lot of these tops just because I think they're so fab. They're really like buttery soft, but they're really nice. Most of them have got these kind of spaghetti straps and things, which I really like. So there's a little sort of crop top, or if you want to be a bit more covered up, then they also have a whole load of really cool Slogan Vests. I again have like a billion of these. I had a period of time where I bought like a new one of these every month, or when we went to Australia and there was a big outlet sale, I bought like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 of these all at once. This one's really cool, Fierce Women. I have quite a lot of these in different colours. So there's the whole fit. These are kind of like racerback vests, which I quite like. So there's that. And then outfit number, I don't even know what we're on, 6, is the same camo print but in a different colour. So now we have the green ones, which I think also goes pretty well with the pink. These are again full length. I think I'm right, I think the other ones are actually 7/8 because these ones are sitting a bit longer on me. Sweaty Betty again, same zip detail here. I love Sweaty Betty leggings. I just think they're so buttery soft and they're great. They're definitely squat proof, they're really comfy, and I always feel like I'm kind of being snugged and hugged, as it were. So number 7 and number 8. So top is from Lorna Jane, got a wee bit of detailing just there, and the bottoms are from LuluLemon. This is my first ever pair of LuluLemon leggings, and I have to say I think I'm in love. We've got pockets on both sides for phones and keys and things, and then it's the same kind of drawstring if you wanted to make them tighter. I think they're really good at kind of sculpting. Full length. I think the colour is really nice, it goes with a lot of stuff. Yeah, big fan of these. And then we have number 9. So last proper outfit of this haul. These bottoms are from Lorna Jane. Most people I know are going to absolutely hate these because they're bright yellow, but I love yellow, so I'm a big fan. And then the top is also from Lorna Jane. It's got the nice elastic at the back here, racer back style, but it's a bit longer line, so I feel a bit more covered up. These are definitely 7/8 length. I really like this sort of tie detail on the front. You can't actually tighten it, but it's quite cool. So yeah, that's the last one. And then this outfit goes pretty well. I've got another one of these t-shirts in grey. Which I quite like the look of as well. I don't know if anybody else does this, but like, see when you find something you like, do you just buy it in like every colour available? I really like these shirts, so I've got a couple of them. And then I also have a few different jumpers I've bought. This one's from Roxy. They're all kind of cropped. I got this one from Roxy, which I really like. It's cropped. It's got a little pocket on the outside for phones and keys. It's this really nice, like, oh, it's got fluff on it. Really nice, like, sheepy material, and then the inside's kind of lined. So it's actually quite thick and good for kind of actually outdoors and things. I guess some of these jumpers are they're a bit thinner or something, so they're actually jumpers as opposed to jackets. I think this one's closer to a jacket. So there was this one, which I really like the look of. A really nice hoodie from LuluLemon, which has the generic thumb holes. I really like. It's kind of cropped, so you can show off all that work you've been doing on your bum. It's got a nice big hood. Yeah, I really like this one. Got the nice pocket on the inside. That's where my mask went. I've been looking for this for days. And on the inside it's got like an extra pocket you can see to put your phone in a bit more securely, or your keys or whatever. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this one. I've been wearing this non-stop since I got it. And last but not least, my favourite piece of the whole haul is this teddy bear jacket. Look how cute this is. It's so cozy and so fluffy. It's got the pockets, nice big hood. Again, crop length. I'm quite into my crop lengths at the moment. It's really cute, and the best part, it is fully reversible. So if it's raining, you can keep the fluff on the inside to keep you warm and have a sort of drizzle-proof layer on the outside. So yeah, I think this was a great buy. See, pockets on the outside still, so it's all kind of, yeah, smooth on the outside with the fluff on the inside, which is also really nice. So yeah, that is my activewear haul. Yeah, so I think I had like maybe 10 outfits there, all mix and matchy. You can mix and match them however you like. Just for all the people who are going to be like, oh, she's got way too much money. I do. No, I don't. I bought a lot of stuff in the sale, so it was hugely discounted. LuluLemon also very kindly give a 15% discount to anybody who's on a national team for sport, which I think is awesome, and I'm very grateful for. So yeah, these are my kind of favourite brands to go to for activewear. LuluLemon, Lorna Jane and Sweaty Betty. So that's my activewear haul. Hope you enjoyed.
you.